We're getting an intro, boys.
Yeah, what we're doing, so is this going to be February Q&A? Put a message on our Instagram today. We've got lots of responses, so we're going to try our best to go through them. Yeah, see how we get on. So it's a little bit of a market update, February 2022.
Alright then, kicking off is the Meteorite Day Platinum with the smooth bezel. Is that a good investment?
The meteorite, again, is very hard watch to get. If you can get one at list, I would say definitely. I would say go for it.
Yeah, well, we bought, just going back to last year, we bought and sold quite a few pieces. Everybody that's bought those watches would have done well with them. Anybody who's actually buying them going forward will also do well. I see the watch increasing. Whether it'll be as drastically as what it was last year on certain models, but yeah, it's also a great watch to have. It's very rare. You see them very rarely in the market for actual sale. As soon as we have them, they sell fast. So yeah, it's a great watch in general. It's a good watch to have.
And if we sold you one last year, and you want to sell it back to us, your price has increased. So yeah, if it goes the way it went last year, the same as this year, it's a great watch to invest in.
Right, the best way to prevent bracelets from stretching?
Not wearing them.
I've actually heard that if you wear the watches loose, it'll make.
I was going to say that if you wear them, I wear all my watches loose. If you wear them loose, there's less strain on the bracelet, which will result in the bracelet probably lasting longer.
You're saying it's the opposite.
I heard the opposite.
Why would it be that? So if the bracelet's tight, the watch doesn't move. If the watch is loose, it keeps moving against your wrist, and it's gonna give more wear in the braces. So if you're seeing older steel and gold Submariner, for example, or older.
Yeah, but if you wear it tight.
No, it doesn't move, Jack. It doesn't move. Sorry, scrap that one. We'll maybe do that question again because he's giving false information.
Awesome.
Yeah, but that's still a good thing. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, well,
it's my thick. It doesn't matter, does it?
It's not. Do you guys have your own personal watch collection? And if so, what's your favourite piece?
I don't. If Jack does, he hasn't told us about it.
I have one, just a platinum Daytona, the baguette dial. But no, we're in the industry of buying and selling watches. Keeping watches in the safes and keeping our customers happy. We buy and sell watches every day. So we've got 200 or 300 watches. So yeah.
That's your personal collection.
Basically, our collection changes daily. So does our bank balance, and that's just how things work. So yeah, we're in and out of things a lot faster than most people.
What is the next watch brand to start going over list?
Over list? Well, I don't know about over list, but I would definitely say Vacheron is going to have a strong year.
Yeah. End of last year, January this year, we've seen a lot more inquiries for Vacheron, a lot more, and not just the ones that stand out like the blue dials. We've had inquiries for quite a few Vacheron. Will
full gold Daytonas increase due to the market price of stainless steel Daytonas?
They already have, so pretty much every Daytona across the board has increased. So it's just pro rata against everything else. So steel and gold, precious metal, they've all increased. So that's already happened.
So will the first generation Batman between 2013 and 2019 on the Oyster bracelet, will that stay the same, or is the price going up? What's happening with that?
We're getting a lot of price questions relating to will things go up and will things go down. So you've got three choices of Batman. You've got the one that you talked about, the previous generation, the 1-1. Then you've got the 2-1-2, so the Jubilee and the Oyster. All are high in demand. For me personally, I prefer the older one. And yes, it has increased and it will increase. It's a great watch. It trades for around 15k ballpark at the minute. It did have a little bit of a drop when they brought out the new reference one, but goes down to availability again. It's for me, if you were looking for a Pacific Batman, I wouldn't be too fussed whether you chose the 1-1 or the 1-2 reference. They're all great watches.
Would you consider the 41mm Wimbledon Jubilee fluted Datejust the most sought after?
Yes, no, it's down to personal preference. I mean, we've seen a lot of the steel version with the blue dial. That took off. But the Wimbledon dial with the precious metals, it's good news as well.
Yeah, if you're talking about market price, you can see the most sought after is always the highest price. So that is the highest price out of the steel fluid and out of the steel smooth. So yes.
We touched on this just before, but thoughts on Vacheron and your favourite model?
For me, the one what I would love to have.
The blue dial rose.
I love the blue Tourbillon.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great watch.
Is that a perpetual
You can
calendar
get so it comes both. So it comes perpetual calendar in Tourbillon and also plain and also chrono. But yeah, anything from that range, really nice watches.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice watches, and I can see the value in them at the current
Same,
price
actually.
point.
I think we had an older one, didn't we? I think a Patrimony, one of the more simple Vacherons. It's kind of like the equivalent to Patek's Calatrava.
Yeah, so you'll see an increase. I think because there's a lot of hype around that brand, you're going to see the increase of hype around the older models as well, and the interest in the older models.
It has a knock-on effect throughout the brand. If they bring hot watches out, everybody looks into Vacheron as a whole.
Right, this is the golden question, but I'm sure it's going to be asked a few times, which is best investment pieces to buy now for this year.
Well, just spend your money with us because we'll always spend it wisely for you, and yeah, so we'll guide the customer down the correct road, and that everything that we sell is something that we'll always buy back. So that's a strong point. So our money's where our mouth is. Buy from a reputable source, but take good advice, and a lot of the time, maybe just go with your gut feeling.
Yeah, also buy what you like.
Yeah. Buy what you like. Yeah, I'd say as well. Like it's good to do a bit of your own research, but then if you're undecided, it's nice to have a dealer's opinion, but it is still an opinion, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Any thoughts on which Rolex models might get discontinued this year? We had this question in the January Q&A, but has there been any information that's come out since that you think?
We're just guessing. We're just guessing. I do believe that they're going to re-release the Hulk.
Right. Okay.
It's not from a good source, but I do believe they're going to re-release the Hulk. But who knows?
Okay.
So it could be the Platinum Daytona. Remember what happened last year? Could be the Green Daytona. But to be frank, I don't really get involved in much of what's going to come out, what's going to be discontinued. I don't really go on any of the forums or see any social media posts or leaks, so to speak.
Do you mind customers just calling into the store to look at the watches and try them on?
No, not at all. A customer doesn't have to come into our store and buy every time they come in. They can come in as many times as they want, try watches on, because at the end of the day, it's a big investment for some people. So they should have the right to come in and try what they want to try on, then go away and think about it, and then come back and try something different and make their mind up. So no, we don't actually mind if people just come in and try watches on and then leave. We know that we've done our job and showed them the watch, and then there'll be a time where they'll come and buy from us. So no, they don't need to come and buy every time. Come and try.
Do you think Rolex will continue to rise at the speed it has been for much longer?
Probably not. In my eyes, no. I think
it's $1 million question yet again, isn't it? Really, it's like, how does anybody know? Who would have predicted the prices what things are today?
Well, I do see a second increase in the Rolex RRP this year.
A second one, yeah.
Yeah, I think that.
Have they done that historically?
To be honest, probably, but I wouldn't want to reference myself on that. But
yeah.
I think it could be on the cards just to go in more in line with market prices. But to answer that question, the prices will increase, they will stabilise at some point, but you're not going to see the uplift of what we've had in the last.
I actually read, this is again speculation, and I've seen it on some videos where people are talking about AP, obviously they're going boutique only, right? But they're saying that they might actually allow the dealers to set the price, so that you'd be buying an AP at market price.
I've heard that already. I have heard people actually say that has happened.
Really?
Now I don't think it happens in England yet, but I have heard in Holland, potentially in other European countries. So
what we're going to do is reduce the price then to get them.
So it's fair market price. Or if they have a relationship with the AD, it's because we also have things like now a lot of these brands, I think including AP. Also have their own pre-owned boutiques. The AD is just going back on the supply and demand thing. So if they can sell something for 100k, which is RRP 50, why wouldn't they not sell it for 100k?
They'll only sell it for 100k because us as watch.
Yeah, because that's the market price.
Dealers have done that.
But they're losing out on that margin. But it doesn't make any difference for us whether it's 50 grand or 100 grand. It might actually even increase the prices.
Probably would push the prices up.
Because it still goes back to the the supply and demand issue. There's only a small number of these specific watches, and there's not enough watches for what they are buyers.
It actually might mean that there's less in the market because there's less people prepared
to flip. So that will potentially increase the
So
price,
it could
So
do.
if one guy's buying a watch for 50 and he knows he can go around the corner and sell for 100 to people like us, well, we might sell it for 110, whatever the prices might be. So this guy's now paid 100 and we're offering 100 because the market price is 110. There's going to be less watches, so it'll take, if that does happen with specific brands, you'll see movement in the market, and it's
Well, I can't see it happening. No.
I guess, as I say, I don't think anything's confirmed, but it's...
Well, I've been you can talk about grey market dealers like ourselves, non-official stores who sell genuine pre-owned watches. I've been to places on holiday or different places throughout the world where I've actually walked into official ADs and they've asked me market prices for a Rolex.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard about these things on videos on YouTube and whatnot, where I think there's various different practices of ADs all around the world, but yeah, that's probably quite a big topic.
It is.
Best Rolex for £10,000.
Best Rolex for £10,000. Your Datejust, the Explorer 2, is about around £10,000. A little bit more now with the market price.
Yeah,
But
Steel Sport
Steel
or
Sport.
Steel Datejust, depending on if you want to go Datejust 2 or if you want to go 36mm, which is obviously less of a price point.
I feel like the Explorer 2 was more of an enthusiast watch, but now it's kind of broadening its appeal a little bit.
Maybe because of the price bracket. If somebody likes a Daytona, but a Daytona's over 30,000 now, an Explorer 2 is around the 10, 11.
Or an older GMT, Coke or a Pepsi, a little bit above 10. 10 to 15 depending on the condition, or even steel GMTs, you're probably talking around 12. So depending if you're going up or above, but around that figure, it's always nice to have something like an older non-ceramic GMT, brilliant watch.
Yeah.
If you want to go with something newer, a Datejust. Yeah.
And in certain parts of the world, right? Like when we went to Munich, I didn't realise that, say, for instance, in Italy, the older GMTs and whatnot are really popular. Like the style and the desirability of them
So
is different.
it's the fashion and it's the trend in certain countries. So in Italy, they love older non-ceramic watches, complete sets like with all the paperwork.
I mean, I can see the appeal.
We could sell that for around what we're retailing for in places like Italy, because that's the demand piece. Because they're cool, they're a lot cooler than us.
You've got a bit of Italian in you, haven't you?
Little quarter Italian.
Opinion on 36mm on a gents breast?
Depends how big he is. It wouldn't work for Jack. Might work for you.
I've got one on.
Well, I think it could. Do you think the watch market will ever crash?
I can't see it ever crashing because there's always customers out there. It might dip, like Patek's dipped 2 years ago slightly, just for a very short space of time. I can't see it crashing, definitely not, because they can't supply the watches quick enough, so it's not going to greatly crash. But it might dip, who knows, but I can't see it crashing, no.
Hulk price, if re-released, jumped off one level out.
It's one of them things. So it's discontinued now. The prices recently, for whatever reason, have now skyrocketed to 20k plus for the Hulk. If they re-release it, everybody's going to want that one. What they're going to make it in, obviously, it's going to be the 41 version. That's going to be hyped up so much, but I don't think it would make that much difference whether the Hulk stayed as the Hulk or if they bring out a Hulk 2, so to speak. I think the price will still increase. It's a lot of money for what it is. Do I think it's worth it? It just goes off the market. Personally, would I pay 20k for a Hulk if I was a consumer and I wanted it? I probably would, because it's a great watch. And what do you compare it to? A lot of these watches are now priced out of people's price bracket, so to speak. And
again, that's probably why these have become a lot more popular, because the Hulk was 10, 12, 14,000, gone up and up and up. This watch hasn't greatly gone up and up, the Explorer. They're more in people's price bracket.
You have to remember there's a lot of LB Hulks in the market as well.
They were made for a long time, weren't they?
They were made for a long time,
2011, 12?
Old cards and new cards. There's a lot in the market. And so when people...
It was a long production.
When the prices do increase, it does take a little bit of time for people to actually cotton on to the fact. Obviously not us, because we're first on the button here. But it does with like the general consumer to realise the watches actually increase so much. And then at that point, you do see more in the market. And that entails brings the market slightly down or takes the steam, reduces.
Please can you talk about the precious metal Daytona market?
Precious metal Daytona market again has increased greatly. The green is the most popular one, I would say, which
in
is
yellow. And you've obviously got the new meteorite dials.
not many's come through the new meteorite dials. But again, any Daytona, doesn't matter if it's steel, bimetal.
So if somebody's bought a Daytona off us going back a few years with our papers, and you know the paid market price at the time, that watch is now worth considerably more. And you know some people will actually get a shock to what its actual value is. To be fair, most of the time on a daily basis, I'm actually getting shocks about what the precious metal Daytona in general is actually worth. I'm giving offers, and they're saying that they're being offered such and such. I don't see how this is going to be sustainable, but it's crazy. But the only thing is, for us, if you're not in it, you can't win it. And if you do want the watch, you're going to miss out because I don't expect it to go down. So don't be one of them people who
sit on the fence.
Who sit on the fence.
Because you know why? Today's prices isn't tomorrow's prices.
That's true.
You get a lot of people going on things like Chrono 24, which is fair enough for a guide, but you've got to remember a lot of those watches can be bought with a good bid. A lot of the watches aren't even physical, or people are trying to source them. Or for that side of things, you have to like go with actual physical watches. Things can be bought for a good bid, 9 times out of 10. You've got things like commission. Then you've also got, if you're looking to sell it to a dealer, don't expect to get retail price. You know, we get a lot of time wasters ringing us up. I've seen such and such on somebody's Instagram page, 25k. Will you give us 24,500 for the same watch?
Yeah.
Well, no, we're not going to do that. That's not going to happen. You have to be realistic. We have to stock the watch. We've got our bills to pay. We need our margin. So yeah. So if you're sensible, we'll buy the watch off you. But if not, you know, there's no point ringing somebody like us. Go and deal with it yourself. Put it on Facebook. Sell it to a friend. Have the potential of being scammed. You've got all them options. You know, but unless you're after a genuine price and to be paid straight away, then come and see someone like ourselves.
Yeah, that makes sense. Why is two-tone so underappreciated? Or is it?
Two-tone watches, they've gone up as well though. Look at the Daytonas, look at the Submariners, they have gone up, but I just think the steel or the full gold, people either like the steel or a full gold more than the two-tone.
Mm-hmm. I think there's some classics like the Bluesy.
Brand new Bluesy, we were selling for like say 12.5 last year. Now it's 16k. So yeah, it has gone up. Yeah. Datejust 41s have gone up. In general, everything has gone up. Whether
I would also say that like a Datejust, right, a 36 with the champagne, and the two-tone on Jubilee.
You're not getting anything with papers.
Like
you're not getting anything now with papers for 5k. Whereas before that was possible. It's not. It's like 6-7 grand for something clean.
This might lead on quite nicely then. Can you get an investment watch for 6,000 to 8,000?
So I wouldn't. It depends on what you class. I would class as it's going to be a luxury item. Mm-hmm. It's something where you can actually park your money into it, and it would be safe. So I could probably guarantee I can sell you a watch, and then within say 24 months, I'm going to be buying that watch for minimum what it's worth or slightly above what you've actually paid for it. So whether I could direct you in something which is going to be worth double, no, but it's going to be something which is going to be safe. You're going to have it on your wrist, and it's going to be better than having cash in the bank.
Yeah, and that's just based on the market trend over years and years and years. Generally, we'll use Rolex a lot, but that has went up.
Yes,
you can't guarantee anything, but you can look at history.
Yes.
To predict the future. Future growth potential for Panerai watches. This is probably something maybe more for Hendo.
Probably more for Hendo. We do buy and sell quite a lot of Panerais. To be honest, I just look at when I'm pricing up a Panerai, I'm going to be looking at the current market price. Mm-hmm. So I have pretty much no indication. I'll admit that not so much knowledge in Panerai, but we buy and sell them regular. Mm-hmm. We make our small margin. Whether the watch is going to go up in value, probably not the best person to answer that one.
I'm sure it's been around for a long time. I know it's got a lot.
We sold one today. We sell them daily, but I don't.
You got been some nice new models out as well, though.
The submersible that went today. That's a really good looking watch. Mm-hmm. Good looking watch. Somebody just put, love the Q&As. Be great to do these monthly for sure. I think that's the plan.
No problem.
That's the plan. The Air King, where do you see the value go if it's finally discontinued?
Well, same as any watch, really. If it's discontinued, it does go up.
I can see it going down. I can see it being less. I definitely think it's going to be less.
It's definitely going to be more.
No, it's going to, I don't know, it's going to increase overnight by 1,500 quid.
Yeah, 1,500 quid, £2,000.
So if you have a fully stickered one, it's a nice watch to have away.
Does Stuart ever smile?
Not at the minute because I've got quite bad toothache, but apart from that, I do try my best. But yeah,
No.
So okay, no.
I'll answer that, no.
Okay, no.
Okay. Your opinion on the GMT two-tone black, so the steel and gold black GMT, is it underrated?
Yep.
Yes, I would say it is underrated, but again, it's slowly climbing.
Yeah.
So it is.
And we don't see too many of them, and when they do come, as long as they're clean,
They're not in long.
They sell
I'm
fast.
pretty sure though, it's around the same price as the
There's
steel
all
one, isn't it?
there's all no, it's
a little bit
more
more.
slightly
It's a
more
little
just
bit.
because the steel is
1,500.
there's always people looking for that watch. It's a great watch.
Yeah, it's a great watch.
Yeah, I've seen a few customers who've come in recently who've had that watch on.
Yeah, it's a good watch.
Where do you think the Yacht-Master 40 Rhodium can get to this year?
To the moon.
I think
Well,
I think
if you listen to some of our people who try and sell us them, they think they're already
They're past the moon.
They're
They're past the moon.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
They're
God.
past the moon.
What was the last
Like
ask that you had on one of those?
17 grand.
17k, something like that.
How much are they selling for right now?
15.
No, maybe it's 15, 16.
So a lot of people now are moving down to the older grey dial
Yeah.
with the platinum bezel.
It's still got the platinum bezel, but you mean the one with the red hand?
Yeah, so
Not
the
one 122
Actually, no.
16622, I think it is.
Has there been two references of
Yeah,
a big
12.
blue hand?
No,
Just one.
I think so.
Not two.
I'm pretty sure Josh was saying that there's two, is there?
Yeah.
11622.
So when red
Yeah,
hand,
it
blue
has.
hand,
Yeah,
generation
yeah,
two.
yeah.
Right. Okay.
Well,
But that's pushed the price up with the older ones, so.
Right. I see. And they look the same other than that.
see how much one's actually going for now. New reference. What are you saying?
16.
20 grand.
Seriously.
Yeah, but see,
Today's prices isn't tomorrow's prices.
So
Wow.
2020, just looking on Chrono 24, yeah, the push, well, some, see, it's big variations from like, yes, there's one for 15, which is reasonable.
I'm pretty
15
sure.
to 20.
When I started making videos, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're like 12 grand.
It goes
Right.
back to supply and demand.
Crazy, man.
We haven't got one. We
Yeah.
can't sell what we can't have, what we don't have.
Yeah.
Somebody wants one, and we know we're going to put on a small margin on top of that, so it is what it is.
Yeah. Will the James Cameron become a classic over time?
James Cameron was a classic money.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a great watch. It's got its own fan base.
Mhm.
So yeah, definitely.
And it's quite an unusual dial, isn't it? Like,
Yeah,
it's not another dial.
We've
like
actually
that.
got an original James Cameron book as well.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
not everybody can get away with the size.
With the depth.
Yeah, but people who like it love it and they swear by it. It's a work tool
Yeah.
if you're a diver.
Personal favourites and why? I guess let's just do a personal favourite. Do you have a personal?
Platinum Daytona.
Why? Is it the look? Is it the?
It's a feel.
The
I like
feel.
I don't like a big, like the James Cameron, it's too big. I don't like a big watch. But I think the Platinum Daytona is the right size and I like the weight. I like to feel a watch on my wrist, it's like that's half the weight of it. I like to feel the weight. The Platinum Daytona for me.
Yeah, different class, isn't it? When you
Yeah.
put on your wrist.
Platinum Daytona.
What are you about, you Stu?
Probably noteless.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe rose gold 5980, or if I had enough money, the 5990. And probably now I probably couldn't afford a 5711. But
He's
yeah,
on about the Tiffany, you know.
that would be the ultimate if you got a rose gold Tiffany.
Oh, see, for me, the Tiffany, you know.
Just different. Nobody's
But
got it.
let's-
That's the
That's
thing.
true.
Let's
That's true.
spin this back. What's your favourite watch, Harry?
I'd actually go with a day date, a platinum day date.
Would you?
If-
Screw
if-
bezel, what dial?
I do like the icy blue one.
And your reasons for liking it? Because you've just got me.
You know what it is? Because I think it's a style that just will never age.
And it's
or
subtle.
fade. And it is subtle. I think I'd have to have it, in platinum because of the weight and the feel. And then, I just think that style will.
It's understated, isn't it?
I do
It's
like
understated.
Jack's choice of the Platinum Daytona. I think it suits him really well as well. It's a great watch, the Platinum Daytona. It's subtle, it's classy. You know, if somebody
Like me.
if somebody knows one or two things about watches and they see that on somebody, they know it's a really, really nice watch, and it's not full of diamonds. You know, like, it's a good choice, Jack. It's a good choice. So what about this one, which is your personal one? Because I've never seen that as...
Yeah, I'm not going to see that one.
All right.
I've got to keep it out of the shop because you'd sell it.
Right, this is an interesting one. I don't know if you've got any tips on it, but how should you store watches that have been bought as investments?
Safety deposit box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not under your bed.
That's a good point.
Yeah, put them in the plastic coffin. Just store it away.
Or a bank.
Yeah, just store it away somewhere. No
Safety
problem.
deposit
Yeah,
box.
forget about it.
Price of the Panda Daytona 6 months from today.
40k. Well, it's probably
No.
it's touching that now.
40 now.
You don't know.
Could it be like 50k? Is that seriously going to happen?
Again, we can't predict.
Like honestly,
We
So
wouldn't be in this job if we knew what the future holds. We wouldn't keep selling watches.
People compare it to the Royal Oak, the plain 15500 or the 15400 as a comparison. That the steel AP to the steel Rolex, and obviously the price of that is there's a big difference in price. I could see a fully stickered fresh 2022 watch at the end of next year potentially being 50k.
end of next year though.
So the end of this year.
Best value full gold Rolex or AP.
It depends on his price point, but for value for money, you can't really go wrong with a classic 36mm date in decent condition.
That's true. That's actually
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Yeah,
And there's a big price difference because we've got a brand new one in, and there's also an older one, and it's quite a big price
So
difference. isn't
you
it?
depending on from 15 to 30, no diamonds.
Okay. Do you have any hobbies away from the business?
Which pretty much watches 24/7
Yeah,
for us. so,
no, watches.
The WhatsApp groups never stop.
Yeah, never shut off. Eat, sleep, drink,
You like to go for walks in the country, I like to go for a pint.
repeat. Yeah, Jack likes drinking.
He likes walks in the country.
Yeah.
Like this guy just saying, what's the next to go up?
I had to
Have you
pick
got-
one.
Have you got a hunch?
The Yellow Gold Yacht-Master II hasn't jumped greatly. From retail to
I think you're seeing a lot of people jumping out of Yellow Gold. Yacht-Master 2 used to be a very
Sky
popular
Dwellers,
road.
maybe.
And we saw a lot of people now are maybe jumping into a Sky Dweller or more so a root beer, a full rose root beer.
So my Yacht-Master II, for me.
One of the questions was, how much was a two-tone root beer 12 months ago? It was around 14k,
Yeah.
£14,000. So if you now look at it, it's there's a 10k difference, which is crazy. Now you're seeing things like the two-tone steel and rose gold Yacht-Master. That's picking up speed now because there was a big difference between the two models. So now you see that one starting to pick up speed.
And if you're going into full gold, right, the full gold root beer, is that stopping anytime soon, or where do you see it settling down?
It's going to be similar to a Daytona, so it's going to be ballpark £50,000 watch.
So why are sea dwellers not as popular as subs? I mean, it's got to fit less people, right?
Yeah.
Proportionally.
Size.
No, you sea dweller or deep sea, depending on which one you're talking about. If the sea dweller, which is the anniversary currently, which is a bigger case size, that's one thing. But if you go back to the previous generation, that was the same size as the Submariner.
I actually read about this recently. They only made that for the ceramic one.
The ceramic one,
They only
yeah,
made it for a few years.
for a few
We've
years.
got a fully stickered one, haven't we?
We did have, we
That's an even-
we
that's a
sold it.
previous
So the fully stickered one is the non-ceramic. So that's 16660.
So I've got a fully stickered one.
Yeah, but the previous, so going back two more watches. But Submariner's just a classic, isn't it? Daytona, Submariner.
How many links does a Batgirl Jubilee have?
22.
I know, it's the 12.
Okay, so this guy basically wants to know that if you go to smaller countries or maybe countries that have less tourists, are you more likely to get a Rolex out of Nady?
I don't know, maybe it might be worth a holiday, but bear in mind if you bring anything back into the UK, you're supposed to pay duty and anything. But yeah, if you're on holiday, it's always worth taking a look.
It's always worth taking a look.
Yeah, but probably the answer to that is it's
Not
demand.
nowadays.
It's no.
The cat's out of the bag of it, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Omega, is it a good investment? I mean, obviously there's a load.
Snoopy, buy a Snoopy. That's a good one. Yeah, we've just
Snoopy.
recently sold one for 21,000. Yeah, so things the limited. There is a few pieces within the Omega range. Apart from that, nowhere probably going to be retailing for under RRP.
With the current prices, do you think a black Submariner, let's say a date, will become 20k soon?
Can't say it becoming 20k, but God knows.
I mean, how much is one now? Like a brand new date?
13, 12, 5, 13 grand. 13-ish.
Yeah. So the UK is probably one of the best places to buy something like a Submariner. So we're in international groups, so a lot of these international groups are trading watches B2B for the same, and sometimes in some occasions more than what we're retailing the watches for.
So the UK is...
Yeah, so the UK is lagging behind, so it will catch up to the rest of the world.
Okay. Why is AP more expensive than Rolex when Rolex spends so much on marketing?
AP don't need to spend so much on marketing.
AP make less watches than Rolex.
Produce a lot less watches than Rolex. You know, it's not as mainstream.
It's a more exclusive brand.
More exclusive brand, yeah.
Especially Boutique only now.
Where does the Hulk price go this year?
Great watch.
I mean,
yeah, if you've got one, yeah, and you don't need to sell. I would only suggest you to sell if you're looking to get into something else or you need the funds.
It all depends on where you bought it. If you bought it at market value, it's...
Yeah, but if you don't need the money and you don't have anything else to get into, fair enough. If for whatever reason you don't like the watch or you have two of you, then yeah. But unless you've got something else to buy, because you're not going to prefer to have your money sat in the bank. Me personally, because your money's better in the watch than being in the bank.
Do you know where you could get a good quality watch box? I've had a few people on the YouTube ask about the watch trays that we have. And
we're getting a bit more merch in, so watch this space really.
Yeah. Right, so this guy wants to know, he says, selling a watch and making a big profit, is there capital gains to pay?
Not probably the best people to answer that question, not financial advisors, but yeah, if it's
I believe so, over £12,300 I think you're allowed capital gains tax, don't quote us on it.
Per year.
Per year.
So it's just like anything, any gain, you
get taxed.
Yeah, you have to. It's just life.
Patek Aquanaut 5167A to be discontinued? Question mark.
You've just discontinued a few and they didn't discontinue that one, did they?
No.
What is that one? Is that a white gold, yellow gold? I don't know.
So it comes if it's an A, it's a stainless steel Aquanaut. Okay. Yeah, it is a really nice watch to wear as well. That one, you know, is there other options for around that sort of money or for less? Don't know, maybe something like the Vacheron that does, because it gives you the options to have the different straps as well. But it's a classic watch. It is really nice.
What do you guys think about the new 36mm Explorer? We actually have one currently in two-tone, don't we?
Have you seen that many?
Yeah, it's horses for courses. It's not really such high demand. Yeah, it's one of those watches, a little bit like Marmite.
Yeah.
You have a load on your head.
It's quite an enthusiast watch, I think.
Quite similar to the steel and gold Sea Dweller.
What do you think Tudor's next move will be in terms of new colours? And I think Tudor of late has been more adventurous than Rolex with doing ceramic. They've done a gold model for the first.
Yeah, a lot more colour. They've added colour now, haven't they?
They've even got bronze.
Yeah, but you also see a lot more Tudors in the actual AD windows now. Whereas, you know, if you go back a little bit of time, they were getting snapped up. I don't know if the brand's slowing down or the production. I don't know. But we buy and sell them quite regular. But with Tudor, the price has to be right. So whether they do bring out something which is funky and different, it's always going to bring more popularity back to the brand. And yeah, hopefully they do. It's a good watch. So guys, thanks for tuning in to February's market update. We do love all of your questions. Do try and get through as many as possible, so keep them coming. We'll do something similar again next month. If you like the video, please remember to like and subscribe.
And also just let everybody know that we will be at the London Watch Show. It's on the 18th of March, 18th, 19th and 20th of March. We're there all for the full 3 days, so we'll see you there.